Hey, what's up? Like, totally time for 90210.
Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to Massive Late Fees 90210 show. My name is Mark. With me as always is my girlfriend Carol. How you doing, Carol?
Hey, what's up?
Not bad. How you doing? It's been a good week here, right? We've been doing good.
Yeah, we have. We've been getting a lot of entries in our contest.
That's right. We've got a contest going on for all you 90210 fans. If you go to retrolatefeed.com, you will see that we have our contest page up there. It shows you all the ways that you can enter into our contest, and you can win all 5 90210 Barbie dolls. That's first place.
I'm really struggling with the fact that we have to let them go at the end of this.
Yeah.
I used to play with them, and they're really pretty.
They are nice. These are not the ones that Carol used to play with.
No, they're in the box.
They're in the box. But yeah, that's the grand prize is the 90210 dolls, and then second prize is a 90210 beach towel. Third prize is a very fun trivia book, 90210 trivia book. So for you 90210 fans, enter in that contest, retrolatefeed.com, and get yourself a chance to win one of these fabulous prizes.
And then we'll announce the winner in 6 weeks.
Yeah, February. No, not February.
September. Right?
Yeah. September 14th.
So look for that.
Yep. So we will announce the winner live on the show. Make sure to tune into that episode and all episodes of this show.
If you haven't listened to them yet, go back and listen.
Absolutely. Especially listen last week. That was a good show. They're all good shows. But it is, speaking of weeks, it is August 2nd, 1995.
Yes, sir, it is.
And we are here. As you know, we're going back from the beginning of 90210, and we are on season 2.
Yep, and they have a lot of episodes in their seasons.
Absolutely.
It is a long season.
I told you, it's like a soap opera. They barely take any time off.
Which is why it's going to take us so long to catch up if we ever do.
Yeah, we're 3 years behind right now.
Right.
And I don't know if we're going to... I mean, we got to really pop them out.
But this week, we're going to do a lot of talking about sex. Because this was the Talk About Sex episode.
Let's talk about sex, baby.
I knew you'd do it. I was waiting. I was trying to set you up for it.
Yeah?
Yeah. So...
You know me so well.
I do.
You set up a sex trap and I'm going to fall right in.
So the episode starts out with a protest in front of the school, which just seems kind of weird. Like, they're holding up all the signs. And,
yeah.
Like, I don't know exactly what they're protesting, though.
There's a backstory there that we're not privy to. They say something about its sex education, basically. They want a better sex education curriculum, I think, or something like that. It's a fight that's been had on the national level with the government and everything. But basically, the protest is we want to get the information or whatever.
So, yeah, it's Andrea is all happy because she gets to walk through it. Brandon apparently was holding up a sign.
Yes, and you could only see his elbow.
And who else? Is that it?
John Griffin.
Yeah.
Who we've talked about before.
Yes.
We've mentioned him, so.
We couldn't remember what his name was, whether it was John or Griffin. Apparently it's both. So, go us. So, he is obvious.
The one that looks like Geraldo.
Yeah. He's obviously crushing on Andrea. Like, this whole episode, it's so obvious.
Yeah, all of a sudden, I think they decided that Andrea needed a new love interest because it wasn't going to fly with Brandon.
Yeah.
I don't know why. For so long, they have played this game with Brandon and Andrea. And obviously we know because what happened at the cliffhanger of season 5.
Right.
We know that they don't end up together. I don't know why they string this along this way. It's weird.
It is. It's, yeah. I mean,
it really seems like they built the show to have these couples, Brenda and Dylan, Steve and Kelly, Donna and David, and Brandon and Andrea.
Yeah.
And it didn't work out that way, and I don't know exactly. Well, I mean, we'll get there, I guess. We'll see what happens, because with the season that we were on, or the season, the current season, they don't have quite the chemistry that they do here in the high school years.
Yeah.
So
I don't know that they really had that much chemistry anyway.
A little. That one episode where she wanted to have sex with him, she thought they were leaving for Minnesota forever, and she was like, let's do it one time, take my virginity.
And he refused because he wants to save the friendship because they weren't leaving. He was going to take her virginity when he thought they were leaving.
Yeah.
That's so weird. I still don't understand. Like, if I was going to...
He's attracted enough to have sex with her if he can never see each other again.
Right.
But, yeah, it's
no
weird.
way he can do it and, actually be her boyfriend or something.
Yeah,
like,
it's weird.
He respects her too much to be her boyfriend. Whatever, Brandon. So, yes, they want more... I don't know about better. They want sex education. I mean, it sounds like there's not much being taught, if anything, right now.
Right.
And, they're concerned about the AIDS pandemic.
Right.
And, they're talking about, they're trying to prevent more than pregnancy now.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's lots of diseases. Used to be that only sailors wore condoms. Now everyone needs them.
Yeah. Well, remember in Circle of Friends, like they were talking about sheepskin?
Yeah.
Can you even imagine putting an animal's body part on your penis? How bad would you want to prevent a pregnancy to be able to do that?
The thing is, though, is that, I guess it's before they invented latex condoms, right. I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
But they still make stuff like that because it's supposed to feel more natural or something like that. I don't know. It's weird. It's a whole weird thought, though. The guy that invented condoms, he did it on accident.
What?
I think he worked in a rubber factory or something like that. And his dick fell into the vat or something.
Sure.
No, seriously, it was an accident, though. I don't remember the exact story.
Huh. Well, maybe we'll have
to... If you remember the story of how condoms were invented.
Maybe we'll have to go to the library and look it up.
Look up condoms.
Yeah. So, somehow Brandon and Brenda's mom gets suckered into hosting a PTA meeting? I don't even know what this
Cindy. Yeah, I think it's a PTA meeting. It's a meeting of the parents, basically. Yeah. They wanted to discuss, before the board meeting happens, they want to discuss this whole idea about sex education.
So there's a lot of, parents talking about they don't want their kids being taught about condoms.
David's dad is very vocal that kids should be able to fuck or whatever.
Yeah.
He's making a big push.
And Kelly's mom is on the opposite side, right?
Kelly's mom is, I guess, sort of ambivalent about it. She mentions that they go out to eat and they talk about it. And they go out to a sushi bar and they talk about it. She doesn't like the sushi. She thinks it smells bad, even though everyone else thinks it's fine. But she says that she made sure that Kelly knew about condoms and everything because she was such a wild child.
Yeah.
And she didn't want to take any risks.
How insulting.
I know.
Poor Kelly. She really was set up to be a slut.
Right to her face and right in front of Mel, potential suitor to her mom, and David.
Who she goes to high school with.
Very embarrassing.
Yeah. Well, his dad said something really embarrassing to him, too.
Yeah. His dad said, well, the boy, it's easy. You just hand him a Playboy and say good looks.
That's awful. So, but it devolves into a yelling match, and then Donna speaks up because for some reason,
by the way, it's Donna's mom. That's who you're thinking of. Donna's mom is very against it. Donna's mom goes up to the front of the room and she's like, "Hey, they say that condoms prevent these diseases and everything, and they prevent teen pregnancy and all this stuff, but the teen pregnancy rate keeps going up." And the only thing that really prevents them is abstinence.
Yeah.
So she's going, abstinence only.
She was making a lot of sense until she got to the conclusion of her argument. Because
I mean, I guess, but it's what she's saying based on reality.
Well, but I mean, I felt like what she was saying, was that you need to protect yourself. She just doesn't agree with the method to protect yourself. And you do need to protect yourself.
The thing is she was saying condoms are out there now, but they obviously don't work because she says that condoms are around and therefore they must not be working. But she's not taking into account do teenagers have access to condoms? And if they do they know how to use them? Are they using them? There's a lot of things not answered here. If she could argue that, hey, teen pregnancy is going up and because teen sex is going up because they have access to condoms now, so they think they're invincible or whatever, but they're still getting pregnant even using these condoms, then that would be an argument. But I don't think that that's actually what's happening.
Well, and like Brenda says, they only work if you use them properly, which is something that, they could learn in sex education class.
Exactly. So. Yeah. So Donna's mom is not making a lot of sense, but Donna is the one, like you said, that then stands up and starts talking. She's like, I think you're wrong, Mom.
Yeah. And she says that, and I really like her analogy that if you build a pool in your backyard and you have kids and you tell them not to go in it, you can even build a fence around that pool. But if you know they're going to go in it, you should teach them how to swim instead of just telling them not to. Basically,
she's saying if you know there's a possibility that they might mess up and go in it anyway, that they need to be protected.
Yeah, which makes a lot of sense.
Absolutely. And as we already know, I don't think we're spoiling anything here, but as we already know, Donna wants to wait until marriage to have sex. And, even though she doesn't want to go into the pool, so to speak, she's not judging other people for wanting to and thinks that they should have the information and be protected and stuff, which I think is great. But, yeah, because David hears what she said at the meeting, he's like, oh, all of a sudden he's thinking like, oh, there's these expectations. Maybe she wants to start having sex. Maybe I should make a move.
Yeah, he just goes like kind of nuts with it, like thinking that this is her opening the door. Like, it's not. Like, I don't know. I wouldn't come to that conclusion. Would you?
Well, I don't know. I understand where he's coming from with him hearing this, that she's this vocal about people being protected and things like that. I understand where he's coming from.
I guess so.
Where he'd get that idea from.
So you've got Donna arguing against the parents, and then you've got Andrea arguing against the school board.
Against everyone.
Yeah. Yeah, and like she is going way out of bounds, according to the principal. She does some kind of news interview at the school without asking first, which that's kind of nuts.
Well, I guess we should set up first. She goes to the school board meeting and she says to them, hey, I want condoms passed out in school. I want condoms available for the high school students. And they're all like, whoa, and the guy that's the head of the school board's like, this is outrageous. And he adjusts his tie and everything. He's got a big cravat on or something, like a stuffy shirt. And then one of the guys that looks like, it's not, but he looks like Boone from National Lampoon's Animal House.
Okay.
Like all grown up, sitting at the end. He's like, hey, we should hear him out. And then a woman seconds the motion. So now they have to actually talk about it and take it into consideration.
Yeah. So, and she says, I think we should discuss it. That's all she says. But
she doesn't say, I want every teenage cock to have a condom.
Right. So
like apparently John Griffin thinks that's her statement.
So they are going to, eventually go have a vote about it and stuff. So that's coming in the future. Mm-hmm. In the meantime, though, Andrea is just campaigning.
It's full assault on every front. Like you said, she's giving unsolicited news interviews on the campus of the school without asking any permission.
And John Griffin brings in these informational pamphlets from his uncles, whatever. It sounds like the worst thing in the world, but also something they'd absolutely do in West Hollywood. It's a
informational play designed to teach teenagers about safe sex. I mean, I guess with the AIDS crisis and everything, it's commendable that they're doing this, but still, it sounds terrible.
Yeah.
It sounds like one of those fourth wall breaking. They're up on stage. It's two chairs, but it's supposed to be a car, like a front seat, and the guy's leaned over, like, hey, it's time to make out, and everything. And the girl looks right at the audience and says, it was then that I knew that we were in big trouble.
Right? So, I mean, Andrea is referencing some other high school where the kids actually started handing out condoms. So there's some rumor going around that she is.
But it's an informational packet about safe sex, basically.
And
how
then,
to avoid AIDS.
And then she also wants to do a piece, and she just volunteers her girlfriends, like doesn't even talk to them about it, where like apparently Kelly's name was out there as being part of it, which is bullcrap. Mm-hmm. But she wants to do some like journal piece where people talk about like their sexual problems or
just
experiences.
Their experiences with sex, basically.
Yeah.
Andrea's basically like, Kelly, you're a whore. Why don't you write an article about that?
But she doesn't even talk to her about it.
No, I know. And Brenda wants to do one about the pregnancy scare that she had with Dylan.
Which she actually does write and everything.
Starts writing it, yeah. And John, you called this right away. He doesn't say right away. Although it's funny because he put his name on it. Apparently, we thought these were anonymous.
Right.
But apparently everyone's putting their names on them so that everyone's business is out there, which I don't think is on, but whatever.
That's stupid. If she wants people to participate, she should definitely offer anonymity.
Mm-hmm. But anyway, so John writes something. I think he says the title is, okay, so I'm a virgin. And he goes, what do you think of the title? I'm like, wow, John, sounds terrible.
That's subtle.
Okay, so I'm a virgin.
And poor John, because he wants to share this with Andrea. Mm-hmm. And she's just like, I gotta go, and walks away and doesn't even respond to him.
But why? Why is she upset? Because the principal says to Brandon,
yes,
we didn't tell this part yet. The principal says to Brandon, your friend there is out of control, and I'm going to kick her off the newspaper if you don't get her skinny butt into shape.
Which is so weird. Why? Why would she go to Brandon and not Andrea? I realized that at that moment, Andrea was doing the news interview. Mm-hmm. Wait a few minutes and talk to her yourself. Are you really that busy?
I just can't schedule this.
Right.
But so Brandon Brandon finds out they're passing out these things. Mm-hmm. And he's upset because he's like, I'm on the editorial board. I should have been part of this discussion.
Right.
And Andrea says, everything was moving so fast. It's got a life of its own, blah, blah, blah. And he says, he gets all pissed off. They go into the hall, and then he says, hey, you're trying to do all this stuff, but you have no experience at all in sex.
He's like, you don't know anything about the feelings or the sex. And I mean, that was really, really rude and mean because, I mean, the only reason she's still a virgin is because he did not take her flower. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, that was not cool, Brandon. So, yeah, she's upset from that when John is trying to share his article with her.
She's all hung up on Brandon.
And so it's like the wind has been completely taken out of her sails for the rest of the episode. She doesn't want to do anything. She's like, you guys just go ahead, whatever. Mm-hmm. It's very sad. So
they go to the board meeting. Brandon can't go because he's working.
Right. So, yes, the board meeting. And they think, like, they're taking the vote. And they really think the lady who seconded the motion to hear about it is going to side with them.
Oh, John is convinced of it.
But
it's in the bag, he says.
But it does not happen, so they get voted down.
No, Boone from Animal House votes yes. Some unnamed other person says yay. Two of them say nay, including Stuffed Shirt at the beginning. and then, Donna's mom's friend. Apparently they're friends. And she's looking at her the whole time. Yeah. As if Donna's mom... Something happens that off screen that we didn't get to see. Like Donna's mom had this woman over.
Maybe.
And had her goons put the screws to her. She hung her out the window of their house. Like, you want to fall? You want to have an accident?
Oh my goodness.
But she did something like that, and she says, "No, I'm gonna vote no." So
their proposal is voted down.
No condoms. No condoms for the school, although you can just buy them at the drugstore like David does.
Yeah, David goes and buys some condoms because he wants to sleep with Donna.
He buys a variety pack or something.
I mean, they act like they're so hard to get, or there's too... I mean, money's not even a thing, so it's not like they're acting like they're expensive.
Right.
But I agree, though. It's like they're not that hard to get. You don't need to have them in candy bowls at school so kids can just grab them. I mean, what you need to do is explain to them how to use them.
Yep.
And the importance of them.
You need to roll a condom down a banana.
Yes.
And tell them, see this tip, that's got to be out. And if you try to put it on, but you realize it's the wrong way, you can't flip it over and roll it on the other way, even though everyone does. It's like, oh, like it's a trampoline for your penis.
Everyone needs to have the banana moment. Mm-hmm. Yes. Although I got to use an actual demonstration wooden penis.
Oh, wow.
To teach, because I taught some safe sex skills at some point.
Did you?
I did.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good for you.
It was pretty cool.
That does sound cool. And
my friend left one of the spermicidally lubricated condoms on it overnight, and it ate the varnish off. So
does not surprise me at all.
Don't use those, ladies. Not worth it.
Don't leave it on your penis.
Oh. It's no good. No bueno.
No. Regular condoms work fine.
Yes.
Anyway, so varnish getting eaten off penises aside, they decide what they're going to do is they're going to pass out these shitty pamphlets.
Yeah, that's their big response here.
They're advertising for his uncle's play is what they're doing. But they're acting like it's a big protest or whatever. And Andrea's like, yeah, you guys can go ahead and do it. She's droopy dog now.
Yeah.
Woe is me.
So then her and Kelly have a talk.
Yes.
And, Andrea's like, you can have any guy you want. And Kelly says, no, I can't.
Name one guy that turned you down. Name one guy we both like that turned you down.
Because she says Brandon Walsh.
Mm-hmm.
So they have a talk about that. And Kelly explains to her, that when she was a freshman, she threw herself at a senior who then pushed her in a bush. Never talked to her again.
What does that mean, by the way? Does it mean that he rejected her?
No.
Or does it mean that, they just had sex in a bush?
She talked about, at the sleepover episode, she talked about losing her virginity.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't literally in a bush. And it was, terrible, and he never talked to her again.
Right.
So that's what she's talking about.
Oh, okay. I forgot about that.
So.
But anyway, she says, from that point on, I was the easy girl.
Yeah, she said she was trying to live up to the reputation, which is what makes me so mad about her mom treating her that way.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, maybe if her mom didn't expect her to act like a whore, she wouldn't feel like she had to.
Yaha! Yeah, exactly.
So I think Andrea is feeling a little better after they have their conversation, and she realizes that, Kelly isn't living things, up and feeling way better than her.
Mm-hmm.
And she runs into John,
who says he didn't go because he doesn't feel a part of the group because he's not paid like a main cast member. And he says, if you're not there, you're my only bridge to these other fucks. So I didn't feel like going. And he says, what did you think of my essay? And she's like, oh, the virgin essay? That was you? You're a virgin too?
Does she say too?
No. That's the implication. But I think finally she realizes that this guy likes her.
Yeah.
And says, hey, if I went with you, would you go? And he's like, oh yeah, for sure.
And then she asks, if I go, will you take me to the movie afterwards?
Mm-hmm.
He's like, I thought you'd never ask. Why? Like you said, why didn't he ask her on a date?
Step up, loser.
Yeah. It's not like she has a boyfriend. What the fuck?
I don't know.
And then we see Donna and Dylan.
Right.
Yeah, Yeah, he thinks that his big moment has come. He's been talking to everybody who will listen about how he wants to have sex with her.
Dylan, how can I rent a hotel room? Steve. See, he talks to the worst people in the world. Dylan, how can I rent a hotel room? Have your dad own it.
Right.
Steve, biggest scumbag in the world. Should I make my move? Every single time, man. It's just like it's asking the worst advice from the worst people.
So they tell him that, yeah, you know, he needs to do that. He gets the condoms. And he's like, I'm just going to wait.
Donna wants it.
I'm just going to wait for, you know, the timing to be right.
Mm-hmm. You can't hurry, love.
And then...
Just have to wait.
And then she says, oh, my parents are going out of town. Come over and watch whatever.
We can watch the MTV whatever movie awards or whatever it is.
And he's like, oh, there's my opportunity. And it falls out of his wallet. The condom falls out of his wallet.
Because he offers to pay for half the pizza?
Yeah.
For some reason? I don't understand this.
I think he feels really insecure that he is younger than her and she has her own car and, you know, all this stuff. Like, he wants to contribute something to the relationship. So he thought, you know.
Other than the best hair.
And you know, his penis, yeah. So, anyways,
the condom falls out, and she's like, "What's this?" It was the weirdest looking condom too.
Do guys really keep condoms in their wallets?
Yes.
That's not smart.
I know, because it can damage it and everything. But yes, guys do that.
Anyway, she sees it, and it's blue. Like, what kind of fucked up condoms did he buy?
Glow in the dark. Seriously, it looks like a candy.
So then she's like, yeah, I'm not sleeping with you, so you don't need to worry about that.
He's like, oh, that's cool. You're not ready yet. And she's like, no, not ever. Mm-hmm. And he's like, what? You're not going to have sex with me? And she's like, well, I'm going to have sex with my husband, but not before then.
So,
and then he says he's relieved.
Which I think it might be at least partially true.
Oh, I'm sure he's kind of relieved. Like, for every guy, I think it's half of you wants to lose your virginity and have sex because guys, just testosterone, that's what it does to you. It makes you think about sex all the time.
Right.
And half of them are like, or half of you is like, oh my God, this is so scary. I don't know what I'm doing. A friend of mine, who I won't mention, before he lost his virginity, he asked my advice. And so any of you out there, I guess, that are...
Any virgins who are listening,
contemplating losing your virginity,
listen up.
I told him, don't worry about it. Your body will know what to do. Yeah. It's a very natural thing to do, and you don't even have to think about it, and your body knows what to do and when. Now, you get better at it. I mean, to get good at it, you have to practice and you have to kind of know what you're doing. But as far as like being able to do it successfully and you don't need to feel like a freak because you're not going to do anything that's weird. You know, unless it's a conscious decision you're making. If you relax and let your body do what it naturally wants to do in that situation, then you'll be fine.
Yeah, that makes sense. Oh, we almost forgot about Brenda and Dylan's fight, too.
Oh, yeah.
Because Brenda did write the article about pregnancy scare. And Dylan sees it and gets so upset. He's like, you're not writing this. He takes it. Like, he's stealing her freaking...
And she says to him, it's not like I can't rewrite it, idiot. I know what I wrote. I know what I lived through.
So, he never really explains other than, you know, he's a private person and he doesn't want people to know.
Well, I think it has to do with what's going on with his dad right now or something. I don't know. But he says, hey, this is my business too.
Right.
They're going to know it was me. How many boyfriends have you had since you've come to West Beverly? And she goes, one. And he's like, he doesn't say it, but it's like, yeah, exactly. Just me.
And she's like, and I want to keep it that way, so I won't write it.
Right. But he's like, this is my business too. Everyone's going to know it's me. And you didn't even ask me if it was okay. You just decided you were going to do it. That's not on, you know.
I think it would have been fine if it was anonymous.
Yeah, I agree. Should have been. Everything should have been anonymous.
Yeah.
But he says, he says something like, it's especially important now for me to be very, very private or something like that. He really emphasizes it like more than just he's a private person, but now is a sensitive time.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's weird.
I don't know. But that's them. That's how it ends. Really.
That's them. If they ever do a spin-off with Brenda and Dylan, it should just be called That's Them. That's Them, starring those dudes.
You're a jerk, but yep. I love you.
I love you too. Is that the first time we ever said that on the air?
Oh, maybe. Hey, guess what? We love each other.
Wow.
Shh.
Don't tell anybody. We know where to get condoms, too. Don't tell anybody.
You know, that's another thing, though. At this school, they're not willing to pass out condoms or teach kids anything about sex.
Right. You're on your own.
But Andrea wants to put articles in the paper where kids are writing about their sexual experiences. I don't think that would fly.
Yeah. Well, this whole thing started, actually, because they canceled the sex survey she wanted to do in the newspaper.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
She wanted to do this survey of all the kids. Have you had sex? How many times? What positions? How many orgasms? I don't know.
It was apparently some really personal stuff, though.
But she wanted to do it, and the principal was like, no.
Yeah.
They cut that out. The school board cut it out, and that's when she went and said, hey, we want condoms then. Can't do this survey.
Yeah.
And that sprungboard the whole thing. Sprangboard? Springboard?
It sprung it. It moved it forward.
Advanced.
There
Boarded it. Anyway, that's our episode for the week.
It is. So, again, check out the contest, retrolatefee.com.
That's right, retrolatefee.com. And, other stuff. Tell them to do other things.
Write us at latefee1994.
Yeah. Or you can send us a message right on retrolatefee.com.
Yeah, I was thinking, like, what's the point now?
What's the point? The point is to tell them what to do.
Okay, fine. So, yeah, write to us. Tell your friends. Keep listening and all that stuff. Tell your cousins to keep making the tapes.
Absolutely. We'll talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.